2-minute tutorial. You know what? I'm not even gonna. Yes.
We're eating if you'd like to join us.
That's okay because I'm going to have Nando's at Dad's, and I'm also recording a tutorial. But I'll take you up on that offer later.
Okay, well, there might not be anything later, but cool.
Love it. Never stop filming. Alright, super quick 2-minute tutorial today on sampling, and we're gonna be diving into my unreleased project, Jailbreak, with the homeboy, Ben Mason. And I'll just play you the intro of this beloved jewel of a track, which I cannot wait to release. Hopefully without it overloading and crashing and dying. I said hopefully, but it's recording at the same time, so it's good. I'll play you the guitar part, okay? Looks like the computer doesn't want you to get a cheeky preview sample, and that's just the way it's gonna be. Okay, so basically, it's always good if you can, in my opinion, to get real instruments on your track if possible. If you can, it adds, especially to dance music, it adds this really nice human characteristic and element that just isn't there with even the best like contact synths and that sort of stuff. So I got my boy over in the States. His name is Zach Austin. He's an amazing bass player, and we got him to record a little guitar snippet on his bass for us for this track to the same tune of that steel string acoustic guitar that you just heard, which may or may not be sampled from Metallica, but you didn't hear that from me. So basically it's going to take you through this, and we're going to import it, and I'm going to show you how I'd go about cutting it up and putting it in time to sample, basically. So here are the recordings, 1, 2, just like this. We're going to drag these guys in. Yeah, sure. Right, so we're going to put him in time. And, obviously, as talented as Zach is, he can't physically play to the exact grid of the track. So together, I might put these down about -10. They're going to sound like this. They're going to sound like... This is what they sound like. Which isn't too bad, it's not too bad. It's pretty in time. But for the sake of this track, I want it to be tight. I want it to sound like one sound. So how do we do that? Well, there are 2 ways you can go about it, and I'm going to show you both. We're just going to ignore the bass thick for the minute and just use this bass punch here. So the first way you could do this is we're going to slice it up into MIDI notes and then quantize the notes that way, and that's super easy. All that is you click this guy, you go right click, converts in your sampler track, or just hit something E. Haven't figured out what the arrow is. If you figure it out, tell me. I've only had this Mac for a year, so 2 years, 3 years anyway. Trigger note range. Start whatever you want. Choose whatever range you want. But I'm just going to go from C1 to say C7. That seems like a decent range to me. And over here, it's important you choose transient markers. I haven't tried regions, but transient markers is gonna make sure you get each note cleanly by itself, as it should be. So you press OK, and here it is. It's already stacked them together like this, looking nice and tight. I actually should have chose a longer range because, as you can see, it's hit its limit at the end. But if you play this and just solo it, it should sound exactly like the original. So here it is. Here's the EX-S24 sampler, overloaded, and it's got all the notes here in line, just like this. Now they're not, assigned to each note like a normal sampler would. These are actually literally just in order of exactly how he played it. It's just taken the notes and put them as notes in a piano roll instead through the sampler. which for the sake of this and just putting it in time is exactly what we want. But the other advantage of having it in a piano roll is it allows you to, fuck around with the notes. You can change the order, change the timing, change like the whatever that you want to do. I don't think this is going to sound good at all, but get funky with it, do whatever you want to do. But for the sake of right now, I'm going to leave it as it is. Now all you need to do, put them in time, Control A, hit that cue right there, it's on 16th note, boom. And now it should be basically in time with this MIDI track up here, so we soloing together, it should sound pretty good. For 3 notes, which is all you get to hear. Cool, and then from there, just slap a compressor on it, do whatever you want. I prefer the CLA 2A is my boy, right there. We're gonna go stereo, even though it's bass track, but whatever. And just, screw around with that. Just to smooth out the velocity changes in there. And you can throw in a Renaissance after that if you want, my other favorite. Which that one you can slam really, really hard, and it actually just sounds great because it's like analog modeled. Or if you want a better transient control, then obviously use a compressor that allows you to change the attack and release for control of the transient. So, second way, 4 ways that I'm going to show you is using Logic's built-in melodyne, right? Crazy that people don't know about this thing. So we're going to unmute this, Control M, and double click. We're going to go track, and you see this guy right here, that little DNA looking fella. Click that, press turn on flex, and change this up here from flex time slicing into flex pitch. And voila, that looks familiar, doesn't it? Yes, it looks like melodyne. So congratulations, I just saved you $1,000 from buying melodyne, or however much it costs. Because this frankly works just as well. So if you want to change the time quantization, select everything and literally just change this to 16th note like we did before, hit Q and bring up that strength and figure out how to do it properly, unlike me. But what I'm really here to show you is the pitch. So highlight them all as we just did, and this pitch correction here, literally you can just crank that knob. If you want it to sound robotic and exactly not human, which is the point of having a human instrument, crank it to 100 and the keys will be perfectly in time, not in time, the keys will be perfect with the notes that you want to play. I like to keep it like, 77, it's a good number. So it's sort of 90% there, in key, but a tiny bit out of key, which just keeps that human element going. And then obviously, you can change it, you can dive in, you can modify each individual note, change its pitch, change its length, change its time, its pitch drift at the end. So if we go to the start here, you want it to pitch drift to the next note, you can do that super easily. So I want this to go bump, bump, whoop, and then pitch up at the end. All I have to do is change its pitch drift. Not with all of them highlighted, just for this end one. So I want it to do that, something crazy. I'll show you just this guy. You can sort of hear that at the end of it, and then into the next one. But Bob's your uncle. You can do whatever you want once you're in that view. And that just gives you more freedom and control when you're dealing with real instruments. So there you go. 2-minute video turned into probably like 10 minutes or whatever it is now. But there you go, some solid info on how to deal with real instruments in your dance music tracks to make them bang. Now get out there and make some people dance. Done.